Hello and good evening all, and welcome to the next instalment of RSF1, Division 2. I'm Primus Gaming, and joined with me once again is Vettel SF71. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing very good. A bit tired, but I'm ready for tonight's race.
You had a bit of a hard week.
No, a bit of a neighbour problem, but it's not important. It's Russia.
Yeah, it's been a tiring week for myself actually, because I've just done 60 hours of work, and today's like my first rest day after finishing a 6-day week at work. So I know what you mean. I feel a bit tired myself. Obviously, you having to deal with a neighbour problem, that's completely separate. But still, you know, we're in Russia now, so let's hope we have a good race today. And I actually want to say this now, because if any old viewers from season 1 are still watching, Vettel also pointed this out to me. We have a returning man here, and he is the season 1 Division 2 champion, and we're talking about Magic Marks.
Yeah, he hasn't been here for quite a while.
Oh, go on.
I think he left mid-season 2 in Division 1.
And it's been a while since we last saw him, and I have some good memories made by Magic Marks. He actually had the famous rivalry between himself and Skunk Burner, who was the season 1 runner-up in the Drivers' Championship. And we had some glorious battles. I remember, I think Spain kindled the start of a very furious battle for the Drivers' Championship, and it went on for a while until Skunk Burner took a leave of absence for quite a while, and then by the time he returned, it was already too late for Skunk to try and have any retaking the lead of the Drivers' Championship. And then in that part, Magic Marks took the victory as the champion in Racing Point. And I guess he's not the defending champion because he didn't take part in Season 2, but technically I guess you could say he's kind of a defending champion?
He did take part in Season 2, just not in this division. He was moved up.
I mean, quite a few faces here, like, well, actually, no, I've had people here that are all over from different divisions, like, Nogran Tashafi used to take part in Division 4. Muddy Biscuit actually did formerly used to be a Division 4 driver, I think.
I don't know, it's quite a long way back.
We're delving far back into sort of RSF1 history. But anyways, we're at the Sochi Autodrome, and here is where we've seen some good races in RSF1, as well as real life. And the lads now take to the track for the first qualifying session of the day. And for anyone who's new, qualifying has some set rules. Vettel, actually, for all the people that are new watching, would you like to explain them the rules of qualifying?
Well, so in qualifying 1, which is this one, if you qualify from 15th to 20th, you are eliminated and cannot proceed on to qualifying 2. But you to have a free supplier for that. Then in Q2, if you go and proceed into the top 10, that is the tyre you have to start the race on, which I imagine at this track will probably be the fast tyre, because it's not very good in a thing. And then Q3 is where you'll normally see the quickest lap times of the session, and we'll finish off the rest of the grid for tomorrow's race.
And we've actually had some really close qualifying sessions. I think the closest I've ever seen, and I don't think it was this division. I think it was definitely another division where the leading time was actually matched. So E1 and P2 were the exact same time. I forgot who it was though. I swear I've seen it once at least in RSF1. Because we have seen it happen before in qualifying, not like in the Q3 top 10 shootout, but where two have the exact same finishing qualifying time. So, you know, it's not unusual.
No, it's definitely not. Shame they don't go a bit further out with the times. I don't know, a billionth or a millionth of a second.
That would be really cutting it fine, wouldn't it? Like, you need a calculator to calculate that, like, you know, 0.00000 like 5. You know,
I don't
not going that low.
Around to watch the 1997 Jerez Grand Prix, the final Grand Prix of the 1997 Championship, but I believe Jack Villeneuve, Michael Schumacher and Mike Stolfrenson at the exact same lap time.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember watching it as a highlight, but that's because it came up on my feed from the actual F1 channel, but I wouldn't have known that, like, without watching it. But yeah, I forgot about that. It's a good reminder there, Vettel. Also recently in Formula 1 history, a new title, a 7-time Formula 1 world champion, Lewis Hamilton, has been crowned. Now on par with Michael Schumacher in terms of drivers' championships, and definitely has proved that he was worthy of 7 titles. He has had the team behind him to give him the machinery to help him win these championships, and also he had this one with McLaren. He would have had another one if it wasn't for the battle between Kimi Räikkönen doing everything right and taking home the title, and Lewis losing in the pit lane. So we've seen some.
In 2007, McLaren were cheating, so.
Yeah, they actually had a problem. I think it was where they got stripped of their constructors' points.
Well, it was showing RE data illegally, which allowed to do it's a big no-no in F1. So the FI president was supposed to stop thing forever and handed McLaren a €100 million fine and removed them from the championship.
In turn, handed the constructors. I think Ferrari took the constructors that year, did they?
Yeah, Ferrari won the constructors by quite a long way.
Which is quite weird to hear, because, you know, Ferrari did do good after Michael Schumacher depart. They did really well in 2007 and 8, but then I think Ferrari slowly started to drift off about 2009, where, like, they weren't as dominant, where McLaren and Red Bull started to re-begin a rise, and then in 2010 to 13, it was a good mixture of cars. Like, you know, you'd have Pastor Maldonado, even Lotus took home some race wins.
Yeah, I think that's what I liked about the V8 era, is any car could actually win. I mean, Sebastian Vettel won in a Toro Rosso in 2008. Obviously, Pastor Maldonado taking the shock win, which I don't think anyone would ever have guessed. In Spain. Obviously, Nico Rosberg, he was a first-time winner.
Fernando Alonso, who missed out on a couple of championships by barely any points. I think Sebastian Vettel had beaten him by only 1 point in a Brazilian Grand Prix, and I think there was a video where we saw Fernando Alonso's displeasure, his frustration, due to losing the Drivers' Championship by a single point.
Yeah, but what cost of the championship was obviously the crash in Spa, which was caused by Romain Grosjean.
On board now, before we get back onto a little bit of nostalgia, with the Season 1 Division 2 champion as he's pushing his way through the second DRS zone. And we'll get to see. Oh, he's not, no. He's on a warm-up again.
Either that or I can't remember.
But it's a good chance to see if he's lost it over time or if he's still got it. The reason why he got crowned champion. But again, well, if you're gone for about a season, it can have an effect on your performance because you're effectively a whole season worth of performance and experience down. And so obviously he's actually not even initiated his DRS at all. He goes 9th fastest, and he's now on another lap, and he's not even turned his. Oh, there you go.
Done now.
It was a little bit late there.
I'm just waiting for the invalidation from some drivers. The track limits on this track are exceptionally strict. Coming through this section, try and keep it as tight as possible. Here's the one I want to talk about. Originally on the last game, at that corner you could cut the bit of the curb on the inside, but now they're putting sausage curves everywhere. So not only will they give you a warning for riding over them now, but they also unsettle the car greatly.
You'll notice probably lots of half spins maybe, or little wobbles, you know, when you can see the driver like stabbing the wheel to a certain degree to try and keep the car in control. I think we might see lots of that, especially at the chicane past the bridge section.
I do think adding the curves was a little bit of an unnecessary change, but Masters is starting to enlighten you as much as possible, I believe. Yeah,
see there, he got way too much throttle going into the first part of the chicane and instantly invalidates. He's safe though, he will make it into Q2, but a person who's made an interesting call, which I feel is a bit risky, was ripping one shot. He's done 2 laps on the medium compound tyre.
I doubt Ripman will be using it in the Q because it's not really it's how you want to start on unless you're going to be doing the alternate strategy. The tour at Russia is not bad at all, so I imagine I'd want to go soft in Q2.
I mean, there's no need for that many people to do laps. As we know in Q1, if you've got under the certain amount of cars where no driver will be eliminated at all, only one person needs to do a flying lap, and then that's all she wrote. You know, you can just retire safely in the pits without setting a time and not use up any tyres. You could keep all 3 of those soft tyres and the 1 set of mediums for Q2. You know, you're essentially a brand spanking new car in the second qualifying session. So the expenditure of the medium tyre it's a risk. I watched. I commentated over another race beforehand in Russia, and the medium tyre is a viable tyre depending on the experience of the driver. And a person in the top 10, I think they all chucked it into the 30s, and he qualified in 4th with a 130.8 on the medium compound tyre against everyone else on softs, but then he made a silly call going on to softs just to go for glory. But the medium is definitely viable.
Yeah, but you need to be considerably quicker than anyone else to be able to get into Q2 with it on there. And judging by how close the field is, I've got doubts whether that'll be possible.
And now on board with Sturridge in the Mercedes as he pushes his way through to the end of the first sector. And actually, he goes purple in the first sector on the medium tyre. So they're really doing better than Ites did. But keep an eye on him as he pushes through. Actually, looks like he went a little bit slow there going for that corner.
Yeah, I think
he's backed off. He completely backed off there.
Yeah, I don't think
he had no need.
Pushing at all.
The first sector, he wasn't even bothering to push.
I was expecting slightly quicker times than high 30s, but I suppose none of the drivers are pushing because they don't need to.
I imagine we might see 29s.
I don't really know what lap times we should be getting. I haven't touched Russia in about 3 months.
So a 38.1 set by Sturridge. So it is a lap that he has set, but due to it being slower than the car in 12th, a 1:37.8, it's not enough to move Sturridge up any position. So it's at the back of the grid, and I can't believe we've only got 13 cars. That means we're short 7. We're short 7 on the grid, which means Q2 is probably going to be a very quiet in terms of action. I mean, we'll see loads of cars going out still, but like, it's not as intense. When you've got more cars, it's so much more exciting, but when you've only got a few, it can sort of make Q2 a bit of a bore.
I disagree. It's not like there's only 2 drivers racing, so you're guaranteed to go through whatever tyre you want to start on. There is going to still be people fighting for those positions, so the unlucky 3 will be going out.
Well, Sturridge is now the only car on track as Magic Marks has decided to retire. So Sturridge now, it's all up to him whether he wants to continue going on. He's got 3 minutes and 45 seconds left, so he can use that time to get some additional practice in if he'd like to. He doesn't have to, but he can if he wants to.
No,
it does look like he's going into the pits. So this track, Vettel, I think we've got to be careful in... I mean, not us personally, I mean the drivers. They have to be careful going in that pit lane because obviously there's no pit wall to guide them until the very part of the entry. Obviously, if they're going way too quick into the pit lane, they could end up going back out onto the track, which could endanger someone in a race, because in race conditions, everyone's got their head down and they're giving it 100%.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen it happen quite a few times in league racing.
And here you have it. No drivers eliminated from Q1 due to only having 13 out of the original 20 cars on the grid. So 13 drivers, and in the top 3 with a 130.9 dead as well. I like the punctual there, 130.900. I like that. Grantastrophe in second with a 130.947, yep. And Muddy Biscuit in third with a 131.378. So decent times, and it looks like today the Williams are still looking pretty good in qualifying pace, and it's only Q1.
I've just been looking at the race program. During Q1 we had, I think it was 16 invalidated lap times.
16?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So I was just having a drink there. I didn't realise how much people invalidated.
Yeah, this is probably maybe a bit below Austria on the track limits strict scale, if there is such a thing.
I just remembered, due to a hardware problem, Stygian's not able to attend, and so he's having to watch this at home and not actually being able to attend anymore due to his broken Xbox. Just to let you know, Stygian, we do miss seeing you on the track because we've seen some great battles from you, mate, and he's hoping that we can see you on the track again soon, mate, because we do need you on. You've given us some good shows and we want more. So, just hopefully it'll be dealt with soon. And here's a person who actually intrigues me now. It's Grantastrophe. Isn't he a pad user or a wheel user?
Grunty is a pad user. A private pad user.
I mean, yeah, he is a pad user, but look at the control. I mean, he's a really quick pad user. And if I'm correct, he actually uses automatic.
Automatic.
I think he uses an automatic transmission. Grunty, if you're watching this or listening to this, once you've finished your lap, put in the comments if you're an automatic or a manual driver.
It's not.
Oh, he fiddled with the gears there. He fiddled. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he's a manual. I saw him downshift, upshift, downshift. RSF1 Bottas.
Oh, no, that's a bad name.
Who's that?
Not a clue. There must be in the league.
Oh, Easton just said auto.
Yeah, but it's pretty obvious he's not though. He's picking it up and down.
Does anyone know? He has all of the assists on, apparently. Wait, so I mean, has he got, like, the game helping him with braking into corners or whatever?
Well, no, that's prohibited. I think Easton's having your life. I'm pretty sure Grunty uses traction control.
No, that was Ice who said that. Ice the Best says he has all the things on. Stygian just said maybe he just started to use manual. Well, we are seeing 4 people out on the medium compound tyres, which is Lukey. Previously in Season 2, Lukey did qualify on pole in Q3, but the win got taken by VR46 in the Red Bull. A little bit of a recap there in terms of RSF1. Do you think Lukey could be capable of making this a second consecutive P1 in Q3? Or do you think someone else here is going to set him back?
I might be able to. I'm not sure about anyone else. Maybe Grunty. Steerage, of course, yeah.
If anyone is able to, could someone contact RSF Bottas or notify us if Bottas has any sort of correspondence with the league? Because I don't recall seeing an RSF1 Bottas join the league recently. So if anyone knows Bottas, could you ask him to leave? Someone just messaged him saying, Valtteri, it's James, and then he'll get the picture.
Yeah, it's Russian as well.
Yeah, just Valtteri, it's James here.
No offense to RSF1 Bottas, but he could have picked a more fraudulent name though.
I mean, if only there was like no character limits, we could have seen more names. Because Magic Marks obviously could make a name before they put that cap on. Because I would like to see maybe some Vissy Keller. Oh my God! Grunch just replied. Auto, pad, medium traction, yes on. Basically a lazy driver, and he still qualifies and does great in races. How the hell can he achieve that with an automatic gearbox and all of the assists on?
I don't know. The Sturridge crashed.
I think Sturridge just crashed.
Yeah,
Sturridge is out.
I'm not sure where the car is, but
it's on after the final corner. I think he might have come out of the final corner, caught the curb, sent the car into a state, and then
you were close to missing the pit lane there.
Oh. So I don't think I've seen any notification about Bottas. So if anyone could contact him to ask him to leave the lobby, that would be much appreciated. We've got Hardy in the Red Bull in 11th. He's invalidated his lap, actually. Great, I choose to go on to someone else. And they've invalidated. Let's see. Oh, the Magic Man's actually on an outlap on his medium tyres. And yep, I called him the Magic Man because that's Bodder's nickname for him. Do you have any nicknames? Would you give to someone? Apparently, like anyone who's in this lobby that's not Magic Marks, we know his nickname's the Magic Man. Do you have any nicknames for anyone in here?
Not really, no.
Just for fun, you know.
Probably call K-Mag just K. I
I
just
mean,
called him by the
Grunt's
name.
got a nickname. Grunt's got a nickname. It's Grunt here. Grunt here.
I mean, Breezy races quite often, so maybe coming up with a nickname for him might not be a bad idea.
Imagine you can give him like maybe like one of their names, like Dancers with the Wind or something like that.
We should
I
call
don't know.
Buddy Biscuit Boy.
Biscuit Boy. Or just like name him anything that's like biscuit related, so you could just like call him Dodger or custard cream, the Jaffa cake. Actually, that's a big argument. People talk about Jaffa cakes. Are they actually a cake or a biscuit? It's very because you can't answer because it's classed as both. You're like, oh.
I don't really eat biscuits, so that in my eye comment would be.
You gotta have something with a cup of tea though.
I don't drink tea, I drink coffee.
Ah, that's fair enough, you know. Oh, just realised the Magic Man, the Season 1 champion, did do a fastest first sector on the medium compound tyre, and now he's about to approach the end of the second sector zone. Not the fastest second sector, though. Brutal Reapers goes on top of the table with a 130.5 and a little bit of struggle of traction there.
Yeah, the medium tyres, they're obviously not going to be as grippy as the softs. Not struggling with
Stidget,
though, which is good to see.
Sorry, Sturridge, I don't know why I said Stidget. Sturridge has done a Charles Leclerc.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, last corner. Sturridge has just done a Charles Leclerc. So after his incident, he's done the I am stupid thing. Because he's kind of beaten himself up a little bit over the incident after the final corner where he crashed into the wall. But when I saw that, it instantly made me think of Charles Leclerc.
He could do a 7, blame something else.
Yeah, it's Ericsson's fault. I think Ericsson hit us.
Yeah, good meme back in the day. A bit like the Bartleby exchange, but it's still
and
not.
Also the Maldonado smile.
Oh yeah, that's a good photo. That.
I like that. Anyone just has like a crash-related meme, Maldonado. Here we are, and on board with RSF1 Ice in the Alfa Romeo. He's proven recently that he's had the pace. Alright, we found out what's happened to Sturridge. So he just wanted to reach the finish line as fast as possible, and with no traction, he overdone it with the throttle going over the last corner, and because of having no traction, he just went straight into the wall.
I have to admit, I have done that a few times. But I do
It's an easy mistake.
In the race. Ice with a purple Victor 1.
Doing pretty well already. I do like the new feature of the penalty system now.
Yeah, I have to admit, I was surprised to see that sneak into the update. I probably wouldn't have noticed it.
So now we don't actually have to worry about like forgetting about the penalties near the end of the race, because turn that function on and you can see how many everyone's got. And also the game will put the black and white flag next to a driver that actually has a penalty. So if we've got the tyre function on so we can see who's got what tyre on, and we see the flag next to them, it means they've collected some form of penalty. And also, when they have a 5-second and they serve it in the pits, it will then reduce.
Oh, no, that is the time for RSF1. It's a bit slower than Reapers, though. Reapers, very fast.
A section, once again, it can do that. You know, when you're going through the bridge, you get a slight wobble and like struggling with traction. That can do it. I think that's what might have happened to Ice, where it costed him pole in Q2, but it's still good regardless. I mean, Catastrophe and Brundle are sitting in the top 5 as well now, so both the Williams are leering at the top 3.
Has
And
Brundle
on
started
board
that?
with Ripping One Shot.
Oh,
Yeah,
he has.
Brundle did a 1:31.229. Oh, Ripping One Shot invalidates his lap. So unlucky to one shot, he will have to go again. And he's only got 3.5 minutes left of the qualifying session. Moving on board to Season 2's Russian Grand Prix pole sitter as he's going around the track to do, or to get ready for his flying lap. Vettel, would you like the honours of riding on board with him? Lukey.
Right. Depends if you're well, that's not. Who's behind him on track? Is it Hardy? No.
No, I think behind him is
Biscuit.
Muddy.
Cream.
The Viennese well.
Right, so I'm coming through this section, trying to get as much into those tyres as the surface is rated. Now I'm getting a great exit, does Lukey. Now I'll try and keep it as close to the inside as possible to try and reduce this distance because this is a very long straight. Try and keep it more towards the curb. Do not cut over any form of the track because it will be an instant invalidation. Lukey choosing not to hug the inside curb as much as I would, but each trying to the ground. Sticking in a wide entry, clipping on something I can't do much, using a little bit of curb on the exit. Look towards another corner, locking hitting the sausage curve. Not the fastest route anymore, but lucky not to validate, coming through here, hitting the sausage curve again, maybe unsettling the car a bit. Nice section through there, keeping it nice and wide. Wide entry into this corner, locking up again, probably got himself about 1/10 of a second. Now another long straight. Well, it's not really a straight, it's a bit of a straight. Braking nice and light through here, and choosing not to use second gear, getting a very nice exit through there. Braking down into third, going very wide. Compromises his entire exit and his entry into the corner. Not looking the greatest lap from Lukey, but it crosses the line, not invalidating most importantly. So it's a 31.4.
Oh, he goes faster, 1.6 seconds faster than his previous best, which is good. But it's not enough due to going deep in the bridge section. That is unless Lukey is going back around one more time, that could be the end of his qualifying session. Luckily though, he might be alright depending on magic marks as he goes through the chicane just before the second to last corner. He pushes on and he's already done a lap on those tyres, so already he's at a bit of a disadvantage if he can get into the top 10 with this lap. Round the final corner goes the Season 1 champion, crosses the line 9th, doesn't push Lukey out, but he pushes K-Mag out of Q2.
K-Mag is going to respond
Hardy.
now.
Hardy round the line, nasty up around the end there. Invalidates going wide. All up to if Breezy can beat Magic Marks, he can knock the Season 1 champion out of Q2, but it all depends on how he takes these next corners and if he's up in his time. Round the final corner goes Breezy. He does go faster, and Magic Marks is out of the qualifying session.
K-Mag does have a chance to knock the both of them out. He's going to get the time in.
Lukey's out as well!
Out.
Unlucky to Lukey. The Season 2 pole sitter will not make it into Q2. He will have to start the race from 11th position. And Hardy obviously is starting last in the Grand Prix, and Magic Mark's starting last, so not ideal for some. But on the bright side, Magic Marks has done 3 laps on those softs, so he will get the freedom of choice on tyres. Rippling One Shot made a good recovery as well. Interesting what's going to happen for the next qualifier session. That means only 9 cars will go into Q3 because storage crashed. That means only
Sturridge
9
set a very good
cars
lap.
will get there. He actually would have made it through. Yeah, he would have made it through into Q3 if he didn't crash. But these things happen. Hardy also is slowly making his way around the track. Sort of just taking a little bit of a drive for one last time in qualifying before he gets eliminated, and next time we get to drive that car is in the race.
Yeah, not setting a lap in Q2, I imagine he's probably not most pleased with it, but you will be starting last on the grid, and sometimes starting last is a virtue, especially when it comes at turn 1, because normally there's an incident.
With a lot of cars, there's normally, I'd say, a good 65% chance of contact in turn 1 in all divisions. Depending on the track and the behaviour of the drivers. Russia, however, being an extremely tight turn 1, I know we will see contact. Vettel, give us the classification for Q2.
Right in P3 is Sturridge 97 in the McLaren with a 1 minute 30.745. P2 is RSF1 Ites in the Alfa Romeo Sauber car, all racing, with a 1 minute 36.66, the double. P1, Brittle Reapers in his Sport Pacer 8 BWT Force India car with a 1 minute 30.567. Eliminated is Sturridge, Lukey, Magic Marks, and O'Hardy.
I think we should invite Magic Marks in while he's got the time now on his hands. Q3. Shall we have a little quick catch up with him? It has been a while since he's been in the virtual comms box with us.
Yeah, sure. I'll attempt to get him in.
Hopefully he will join. It'd just be nice to catch up because it's not every day you get a returning face, and it'd be good to see Magic Marks duking it out. Oh, it does. I don't know if we're going to see people rushing out as quick as they can. I think we can see a few.
It's a McLaren.
An Alpha.
Yeah, a lot of people are going out.
Hey, Magic Marks! Welcome to the virtual comms box, mate. Make sure you've included your audio by ticking the box in the party. So, first of all, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's been a really long time since we heard from you, and I tell you what, it's not every day we get to see the division, a champion return, because normally when people become a champion, they've gone.
Yeah.
Especially in Season 1, but how are you feeling now back in RSF1?
Yeah, well, I only bought the game yesterday, so I haven't even played the game for since Season 1. I haven't played the game at all. I put my wheel under the stairs and I haven't got it out since today. Well, since yesterday, sorry, so... I knew I was going to be off the pace. I knew I weren't going to be. I knew I was going to be off it. I just need to get used to it. I didn't even know how to do... I forgot even how to do settings and everything. It's just been that long. So
you are quite rusty.
Yeah, so I'll just give it a few races and maybe I'll just have a fresh start next season, hopefully. Just give it some practice.
Well, obviously, in Season 1, you had quite a few different people challenging you. You had your rival Skunk Burner, who was the runner-up in the championship. I think you had Jay Slee as well. Quite a few old names you had a DP Roberts, who became Toto.
I think I
quite. Yeah, actually, you were in Season 1, weren't you, in Division 2?
Yeah, I won the 2 first races and then I was moved up.
Oh yeah, you also remember that, yeah. We won't complain. I thought it was too quick.
Well, so obviously it has been a very, very long time since you've stepped into the car, so to speak, with you buying the game yesterday. But are you feeling confident in maybe bringing some points home for Haas today, or are you just going to try and do your best?
Yeah, I'm just going to try and not get any penalties. Well, last time I played, I was alright. But anywhere it's top 10, definitely. Anywhere it's top 10. Definitely.
Are you a permanent Haas driver by any chance?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Just been announced today, I think. He just messaged me asking that there was a seat available permanently. So I said I'd take it.
Well, you've got a good teammate. It has proven not a single race in the season, by the way, and this is quite an incredible accomplishment. In all of the whole season of RSF1, Muddy Biscuit has not collected a single penalty on track.
That's good.
Not a single one.
That is
And
good.
he's actually fighting for the championship.
Well, that's good. Well, today will be a tester because it's very hard to on the track here. But yeah, if you can go through this without penalties, it'll be some achievement. Some achievement.
Well, with the new faces against one of the old drivers of season 1, would you like to give us a prediction on who you think is going to be the top 3 for the start of the race?
Let's have a look. I'm going to say Muddy Biscuits, obviously. E1. Brundle and Reapers.
That's quite an interesting one. Vettel, actually, what's your guess?
Well, you can't have a rule out steerage. He's proven that he's definitely going to qualify for this. I mean, across the entire season, he's been very consistent top 3. I'm probably going to go for RSF1 on a couple of races this season. Did he win Singapore? Yeah, he did.
He did win in Singapore, yeah.
And then I'll probably go RSF1 K-Bag. The banana can.
Yes, my guess would be steerage on pole, Ike second, and I think Grunt third, because like the top 3 obviously a little bit jumbled out of my order, but they've proven consistent. But Marks, it's great to have you back, mate, and obviously I know you're going to try and do your best. Oh my God! Did anyone just see that with Breezy? He just caught the sausage curb and took flight. he actually just took off. But yeah,
it's a good measure as well.
Yeah, he almost did a George Russell, where he caught that curve and just flew into the wall. But yeah, anyways, before we get another massive incident in the race, Marks, it's good to have you back, mate. And I know it's been a really long time, so you're just going to try and do your best today. But you've proven even in Q2, even though you got eliminated, you actually have some good quali pace. It's just this track's a little bit testing, especially for someone who's just come back after a season and a half of being away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not my favourite track anyway, but it's just good to be back on track, mate. I'm happy I've even got a seat. I'm lucky to be fair. So I'm happy. I'm just gonna have a more and try my best today.
Well, I know obviously we have to remain neutral in who I'm choosing, but we'll both be wishing you all the best and cheering you on in your return and your debut for the Haas team. Obviously, it's not your original racing point, but you're going to try and give it your best for Haas today.
Yeah, we'll do, mate. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
That's all right, mate. Well, you have a good race, and hopefully we'll speak to you at the end.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Have fun, mate.
Yeah,
Take
see you
it
later.
easy.
See you later, bro.
Bye.
And now on board with RSF1 K-Mag, and that was actually quite nice to hear from him again. Turn 1. That's actually the last time I spoke to Marks. He had a very muffly mic, so to hear him with a clear microphone is definitely a change.
Yeah, I did see that Breezy incident.
He got flying.
Yeah, he nearly Mark Webbered it.
that was mental how it flew. However, in Q3, 3 cars are yet to set times, which is Brutal Reapers, K-Mag, and Riplin One Shot. Meanwhile, Steerage still takes it off the table with a 130.3, Gruntastrophe a 130.8, and Ice only just a small portion of time behind Gruntastrophe with an 8.63. So very close for the top, fighting for second position. And I don't even know if we got any rain for the race.
No, it's looking dry, unfortunately.
RS Easton says Tango Airlines. Regarding Breezy's brief moment of being airborne. Actually, he can live up to his name.
Easy.
Okay. breezy?
Yeah, as someone who likes those things, watching it did annoy me a little bit because when a car mounts, flips goes up normally, the air pressure underneath it raises the car even further, so you would have flipped it over in real life.
Also, when he would have landed back onto the track, the suspension would have been broken. After a nasty incident like that, there would have been some, like in real life, if anything like that happened, the car would be damaged, definitely. Tyre, suspension, maybe even steering arms, you know, they could get damaged from an incident like that. And in the game, you could do that, just brush yourself off and get back onto the track. So I do agree with you. It's kind of horrible not fulfilling that full simulation.
Having said that though, I was watching a BRL race around here one time, I think it might have been last year or this year. A car ridden over the curve and it jolted this car up, and when he landed back on the ground it broke both of his front suspension, so he was out of the race instantly.
Oh. That's pretty harsh.
Yeah, it's obviously not his fault, but this game's, you know, fun.
And, just going on board now with Brutal Reapers now. As he's pushing his way through the first sector, and he purples the first sector, so the tracing point... Oh, almost went too wide there. He managed to save it, though.
Yeah.
Brutal looks like he's got good pace today.
Yeah, he's throwing that pink Mercedes round. I mean, I actually quite like the look of the pink Mercedes. I mean, I don't like the concept of the car, but I think the pink and white does look quite nice on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with Aston Martin. And obviously, no, because it's going to be a British racing team like Aston Martin, they're going to probably don the racing green. But due to the reason why Racing Point is pink is because of the BWT sponsor.
Yeah, that's what.
So, yeah, so they will have to...
There we go.
Don. Whoa! A 1:30.306 set by Brutal Reapers. It's a very good lap set by the Racing Point. I don't know... I think Steerage might be able to try and contest that lap, but is anyone else going to be capable of doing that?
We'll have to see, I'm afraid. Brutal Reapers, this is the end of his qualifying session. Maybe he got out a bit too late, but it's going to be difficult to beat unless Steerage can pull an absolute masterpiece of a lap. Would you like to ride on board with him on his final QC
Yep.
lap?
So going on board with Steerage now as he's pushing his way through to the chicane before starting his flying lap. Won't gain flight like Breezy did. A little bit of a weaving there to warm up his tyres. And here we go with Steerage as he goes round the last corner to begin his flying lap around the Sochi Autodrome. As he pushes down the start-finish straight, DRS zone is a little bit of a distance away, but you've got to make sure you don't accidentally mistake the lines, because those lines can be deceiving if you're keeping an eye on them for the DRS entry. Going down to the end of the straight, got to get a nice wide berth, carry on through those curbs. Oh, he just looks like he could have probably gone a little bit more wide in the turn one to carry more speed through that chicane when he hugs onto the line as he goes through the sweeping left hand, and now pushing through to the end of the first sector zone. Goes a bit wide and nearly catches the wall. Who crashed?
K-Mag, just ahead.
Luckily, he's not out of the session, but that is the end of his session.
One shot going
Luckily,
P3.
not on the way. Ooh, Racing Point are instantly putting the pressure on for Steerage, as that's the end of Q3.
Bruntley
going round
just making the line that says that.
Oh, it's a 30.8, and actually, did he just began it? Begun it, sorry. As
yeah.
Steerage, he fastest second sector to Steerage.
Up, nearly 2.
So now it's just a matter of if he can perfect the last few corners. If he doesn't, Brutal Reapers will take a provisional pole for the start of the race. Second to last corner. Steerage has rarely been a person to make mistakes. Oh, ice!
Here comes Steerage, P1.
But then Steerage, it's just ice does a banger of a lap. Steerage responds. The Racing Point start still on the top, the second row of the grid.
Yeah, it's an all race.
But then Breezy qualifies 4th.
But here comes somebody. 10th up.
He's actually, he's up on his time. And that's just in the 3rd sector. Is he up enough to get himself up there into the top 6?
Yeah, well.
Yes, he is.
Is one shot on a lap? No.
Grunty is.
I imagine Grunty will be after that P3 again. Invalidating now.
Oh, invalidate!
It was a
I would have
small
been 30.7.
You got to
That
the
would have
P6.
actually. Yeah, he would have only gained a position. So it's not much of a loss, but it's still a loss regardless. And once again, Steerage takes up the table, and we're both kind of wrong in our predictions. Because... actually, no, did you say Brutal Reapers?
Yeah. Reapers and Luki have left.
They will need to rejoin, otherwise they might miss out on the start of the Grand Prix. Because we haven't called anything, it still goes on. And that's it. That is the classification for Q3. So we'll just wait for Vettel to invite them back in. If they miss out, then unfortunately that's just how the cookie crumbles, I guess.
So, going over our Q3 final grid is in P9, RSF1 K-Mag, who unfortunately did not settle out. P8 is RSF1 Rundle. 7th is Grunty. 6th is Muddy Biscuit. 5th is Rippling One Shot. P4 is Breezy 72. P3 is Brutal Reapers with a 30.3. 2nd is RSF1 Heights with a 30.234. And on pole position is Steerage 97 for the 6th time this season, I'd like to say.
I think so, yeah. He's proven that he's always quick, and then he had to take time off after he had to take time off after he had to wait for his connection to improve.
He's still in with a shot with the championship. Especially if Muddy Biscuit has a bad race today. Oh, it's not looking great. Might see a bit of rain in this session. Yeah, we didn't get
well,
Licky.
It's not most of the lobby though, so it still goes on.
Oh no, Licky is in the session apparently.
It's just that they will have to they will just have to take control of their cars once the race starts, but well, we now wait. So here we are now in the transition period, as now we wait for the host of the lobby, which is RSF1 Brundle, who, well, after some time, he could consider starting whenever he wants to. But in this point, the drivers can go over their strategies. So they can go over their chosen tyre for the start, depending on if they qualified in the top 10 or not. If they started in the top 10, then they will have to choose whatever tyre they had. Sorry, if they're in the top 10, they have whatever tyre they used in Q2. If they're out of the top 10, then you can pick whatever you... Oh dear. Just lost magic marks. That's not good. Still there, Vettel?
Yeah, still there. Just inviting Marks back to the session.
So that means now... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Only 9 people will actually have control going into the start of the Grand Prix.
Apparently, gonna drive as a 30.0
Unfortunately,
as an F1 race.
4 people are disconnected. That's still not enough to warrant a decision to do a restart.
Who just left?
Magic Marks did just as we got to begin. So we're missing Hardy, Brutal Reapers, Lukey, and Magic Marks. Yeah, and Free joined back. That's true. Stygian, it has to be like 90% of the lobby. It doesn't matter if it's a third, quarter, 2/3, 3/4. If it's like all but 1 or 2 people, then that would warrant it. But we're carrying on like normal as Brundle readied up, so we will be able to get underway.
Interesting proposition. If we are expecting rain later on in the race, people who start on mediums or hards will have a significant advantage because I believe the hards can go from the start of the race to the end. They're stupidly good.
And now the next question. Do you want to do the formation lap or do you want me to do it?
I've done the formation lap for a while, so I guess I'll do it.
Go ahead, it's all yours.
In P13 we have O Hardy in the Red Bull. P12 we have Magic Marks, the Season 1 champion for Hayes. 11th we have Lukey 12-10, a bit of a disappointing qualifying compared to the last couple of races, but perhaps is the strongest track. P10 we have Sturridge 15-15-15 in the Mercedes-Benz. In P9 we have RSF1 K-Mag in the Banana Car. P8 we have RSF1 Brundle in the Williams. P7 we have Grunty in the Williams. P6 we have Captain Cream in the Haas. This we have Riplin One Shot in the Racing Point. P4 we have Breezy 7272 in the McLaren. P3 we have Brutal Reapers with the fastest qualifying session for Racing Point. P2 we have RSF1 Heights in the Alfa Romeo. And P1 we have Sturridge 97 in the other McLaren. Oh, I've been DC'd.
Gosh. Right. You could try and join back through my profile, could you?
Yeah, I'll have to do that. It's a good job I got the formation lap in.
Yeah, it's a good thing you did get that in because the drivers are now lining up on the grid as they're going through the second to last corner, well, steerage is, but the gap between the two Williams is quite a decent sized gap, which means the cars in front of RSF1 Brundle will have much colder tyres. There we go, back in. K-Mag said, my tyres, 70 degrees. Here we are. A quick formation lap because only 13 cars, which means the grid will now line up for the start of the Russian Grand Prix as... Oh, don't say we got this bug again.
Well, we're lap 1 apparently.
We might have the bug again where they're sitting on the track waiting for the lights to go, basically, give it a minute. Hopefully it should try and do something. If not, we might have to consider a lobby restart.
Predicted pit stops. Fantastic. Yep, I think it's a glitch.
Oh. Yep, I think we're stuck.
Everyone is in the lobby, from what I can see, so it's just a server issue.
So, Raikkonen says, "Wait a moment, please." I don't know if we're actually going to go. It's been a decent amount of time since Hardy's Red Bull lined itself back up into its grid slot. I don't think we're going to be getting going.
No, I doubt it.
I think all we're doing here is just sort of sitting there watching them sit on the track. So I think we're going to have to call it.
I have a screenshot of the grid. You gotta love this game, don't you?
Yep. It's always fun. Yeah, I think it's going to have to be called. We're going to have to call a lobby restart due to this bug again, where the drivers have lined up on the track and the game will not commence the 5 red lights to begin the Russian Grand Prix. So it's been called. So can the lobby host please leave the lobby as we make a new session, because all we're doing here is sort of just burning what little time some drivers may have for the evening sitting there on the track.
Don't worry, AWS is giving us our tyre.
And the game just crashed.
Great.
So I just got kicked off the game. Right, so now we wait. See, that's the problem about that bug. If they sit on the track too long, then the game will eventually just kick... Well, it kicked us offline, and this has happened before. It has definitely happened before.
What happened last week?
Yeah, it did. Happened in Singapore. And actually, I think it happened in Monza as well, didn't it?
I didn't commentate Monza, I don't know.
Oh, no, you weren't there. Yeah, that's definitely a restart. While we wait for the lobby to be reformed, I'll let you all have a little bit of a view of the Ferrari F2000. The Ferrari F2000. F1 2000. So, yeah, enjoy that.
Oh, my game's crashed as well.
Yay!
Yeah, F1 2000, a very nice looking car. Obviously, the Supreme V10 era and F1 cars sounded exceptionally nice. It got 9 wins and I believe 10 pole positions. I'm not entirely sure on that.
And I think at the time it was Michael Schumacher and Eddie Irvine.
No, this is the first year they employed Barrichello.
Oh no, it's Barrichello.
Yep, obviously Rubens Barrichello. Not as good a number 2 as Valtteri Bottas, but that's a discussion for another day.
I think we can agree that Barrichello has one enemy, and that's the Stig. The Stig does not like Barrichello.
No, the Stig does not like Rubens. I don't believe he likes Nigel Mansell either. Was it?
No. It's what I like about this Stig. It's just like, for no apparent reason, he just hates Barrichello.
I was wrong. The F1 2000 has won 10 races and had 10 pole positions with 5 fastest laps.
Ferrari's had such a good history within Formula 1. They still actually, in terms of F1 history, have the most constructors. I think they have 13 overall constructors
17.
to their name. 17
and they've
constructors' titles.
No, 18 constructors, 17 drivers' champions.
So Ferrari, in the modern era, Mercedes may be dominating, but in terms of F1 history, the prancing horse is still the most successful Formula 1 team in F1 history. Unless times change and something happens to Mercedes, Ferrari's top seat in F1 history could come to a crashing end, as if nothing can be done about the dominating Mercedes era.
Yeah, very true. I can't imagine F1 being a popular sport if Mercedes win 17 in a row.
Just got to wait on an invite back now from RSF1 Brundle. That's why we're looking at this Ferrari. I think this season definitely had really great battles. We had the McLaren battle between Mika Hakkinen and Michael Schumacher going down the end of the Kemmel Straight in Belgium, when they both went either side of a back marker, and then Mika Hakkinen then took the lead of the Belgium Grand Prix as he passed the back marker and Michael in that moment around the outside as well. It was a nice move.
Yeah, 2000 was a fantastic season, I believe. An actual title fight between Ferrari and McLaren. Don't see that too often nowadays. A race that sticks out to me is the 2000 Deutsch Grand Prix Deutschland at the Hockenheim ring, where Rubens won from 17th on the grid.
And his emotional radio when he was crying down the radio because it was his first actual Grand Prix victory in Formula 1, and that was also his first victory with Ferrari. That was obviously a very special time for him, because there's been many opportunities where Rubens Barrichello has been ordered out of the way for Michael Schumacher, and especially a big controversy with the Austrian Grand Prix twice in a row, where in the last corner Rubens Barrichello got ordered to move, and Michael winning it on the last corner. And the second time that it happened, Michael disobeyed the regulations and pulled up Barrichello onto the top spot and moved himself down to second. And that resulted in a huge fine for Michael Schumacher and the Ferrari Formula 1 team.
Yeah, obviously it was not a good day for F1, but obviously teams do it all the time now. No repercussions, so it was probably a little harsh to fine them that much.
We actually still had classic names in the sport, where we had the Stewart F1 team, and we had the Prost F1 team. You know, you had a couple of old names, and you had Jordan.
Yeah.
So many different teams in Formula 1. I mean, it's kind of it's a real shame that a load of them are gone. I mean, Stewart got bought out by Jaguar. Prost eventually just faded away, because Prost was powered by Peugeot and they weren't doing very great.
Yeah,
then
Peugeot couldn't follow this engine. So
what
they had to
happened
quit
to
2
Jordan?
years. Jordan went bankrupt, and then that became I'd like to say what was Braun? No, Braun was
Honda was in the sport for a while. I think Honda debuted in Formula 1 again. I think maybe about 2005, 2006.
Yeah, they
No,
took over the BAR.
BAR. They were in much longer. BAR were in much longer.
It might be Toro
History
Rosso.
lesson with Primus Gaming. Alright, Chris,
Minardi's.
listen down. Listen now. Sit around and hear me as we talk about Formula 1 history. We talk about Niki Lauda and James Hunt. No, I'm joking. It's just nice having a little bit of a recap on some cars. I mean, I remember Spiker back in the 2006 European Grand Prix.
2007.
2007, sorry. And Spiker led a Formula 1 Grand Prix.
Yeah, with Marcus Winkelhock.
And unfortunately, that came to a bit of a crashing in. I think that's where he suddenly suffered from terminal damage. I don't know why, though, that didn't get Marcus Winkelhock another F1 seat, because in F1 history, Michael Schumacher took the place of a driver that went to prison, and he qualified 7th in the Belgian Grand Prix in the Jordan, had terminal damage, but that drive secured him a seat in Benetton. I don't see why no one would have taken interest in Marcus Winkelhock, because he did really good. He was in the lead for a while, but then terminal damage obviously let the car down. But I don't think that should have affected him. I think he should have been able to get a seat, no problem with that, even in a backmarker team.
It's all to do with money. I don't think he was ever the richest driver.
It's a shame, talent being replaced. Oh, FFR Milan, we've got a couple of people. We've got Midzi and FFR Milan. Obviously, those two will be starting from the back of the grid because they didn't qualify.
It's a tier 1 driver, isn't it?
Oh, he is. Out he goes. I think of more great moments in F1. While we're waiting for the lobby to get going, we need to take a little bit more of a dive into F1 history on some great moments. I mean, hell, we could even go back to the Senna and Prost days, or Niki Lauda's return, dealing with the likes of Keke Rosberg. So many you could go over.
Really, Turbo? Mitzi in the Red Bull? I could have swore he was the Division 1 driver.
I think no. He said that as in pointing it out. Also, you need to hit spectate, by the way.
Oh yeah, I don't want to be put in the race.
So, I mean, we look at the modern Formula 1 teams now, they're all remnants of an old team. So obviously, Honda leaving the sport in 2008 resulted in Braun taking over, and then Mercedes came to be after that. Obviously, no one's taken Ferrari, they've stayed the same. Red Bull did used to be Jaguar and Stewart. It's always been McLaren. Renault have always been Renault. AlphaTauri used to be Toro Rosso, and then Minardi.
I don't know who Jordan
Racing Point
became. Oh, Jordan became. Yeah, they became Force India. Or Racing.
Oh!
Yeah, they were bought by Midland F1, which went bankrupt, and then Spiker bought them. Then Force India, then obviously Racing Point, then Aston Martin.
Then Sauber. Sauber used to be.
No, they always bought their own.
No. Yeah, they're their own car, and then Alfa Romeo bought the team's name out.
And there's BMW before that.
Yeah, BMW Sauber, good remnants, and then Haas only recently came in to take place after the Marussia team, or Manor left. So yeah, so essentially Haas is just replacing Marussia, which is kind of a shame because I did like Marussia.
Yeah, they were a nice backmarker team. The 2014 Monaco Grand Prix was, I think, their best result. 2 points with the late Jules Bianchi.
I think that did harm them a little bit in terms of finances, because after Jules' incident, they were a driver down. Then you had Max Chilton, and Chilton had a very poor season, and they used up a lot of money to repair Jules' car, and they gave it to his family. So they used up a lot of money, and then for a good portion of the 2014, as well as Caterham, Marussia ran out of money, and they couldn't continue the rest of the season.
Yeah, I believe Mercedes even gave them engines for free, I believe, for the 2016 season.
Yeah, they were just like, here, just take our last season engine and just do what you can with it. And due to Marussia not having terms of championship points, and they did score some points thanks to Pascal Wehrlein.
I know it was.
But it just
Esteban Ocon.
Yeah, Ocon was... Actually, I forgot about Ocon. Ocon was a Marussia driver. We just got to wait for Ripping One Shot to get in a racing point.
He's here. Alright.
Yeah, he's in the lobby. He's just not gotten in a car yet. He needs
have we
to get in
gained
the
a
car.
driver?
Yeah, we have. We've gained FFR Milan. He will be at the back of the grid.
Yeah, the guy with the best name on the grid. Hey, I got a nickname for him. Rossoneri.
Was it?
Rossoneri. It's Italian for red and
play.
black. It's the nickname for the football team AC Milan.
Oh, that's a good nickname.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it.
Oh no, Mitzi is back. I think Mitzi might have been pushed down from Division 1.
I don't know how. I'm pretty sure he's won races. Or I think it's someone else. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, mainly we need Ripping One Shot to get in a car. And off he goes again. We need Ripping One Shot to get in a car so we can get going again, because we can't be waiting around for too long. There you go. Rippin finally gets into a car. So now we wait for the lobby hut from Brundle. It's not Brundle. What? Breezy's the lobby host. Okay, this is confusing. Okay, no, yeah, Mitzi is just constantly trying to get in. He's actually a Division 1 McLaren driver.
Yeah, I believe he's won a few races.
So yeah, Mitzi being cheeky and...
Yeah, try to stick in a Div 2 race.
Now we just gotta get going, because not much time left for some drivers.
Yeah, Mitzi's in the championship in Division 1.
So definitely not getting in.
Yeah, definitely not. Apparently Brundle isn't going to be hosting.
So Breezy is just...
Right then, we should, fingers crossed, be racing.
Hopefully. I would like to get going once again. And I'll let you go over the formation lap once again, because the first one was kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, I finished it, but unfortunately it kicked me from the game.
And then didn't start.
Yeah. Just F1 2020 things, isn't it?
Just has to be F1 2020 being a pain, yeah. It'd be interesting to see how the weather starts, because no one knows if it was going to be wet.
No, I've had no information on it. I imagine, obviously, the lobby host would have to know. Oh, it's
Reese?
dry.
ATS Camel, are you playing PC? Nope, we're an Xbox Formula 1 league. So, No, we will not on the PC. Sorry. If you'd like to join though, Camel, you can join on the Xbox through the website provided by the Nightbot. That's if you do have it. If your PS4, really sorry, bud, but we won't be able to do it unless crossplay is enabled for the future. Strictly just an Xbox League.
Well, hopefully they put some crossplay in, but hopefully with
Maybe the
new
next
masters,
Formula 1 game.
I think Rockstar,
Oh.
Grand Theft Auto own it or something like that. So, and obviously they're a very rich company, so they might be able to make it
ATS
happen.
Camel says, I don't know why they are not crossplay yet. It seems to be a nice league though. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully we can give you a good show once the lobby gets underway. We're just waiting for the lobby host to ready up, and then we can get some Grand Prix action going. However, if you want to know a little bit about RSF1, we are in our third season with the division, with the second fastest division. We have 5 divisions all in all. So Division 2 races on Sundays, Division 3 races on Mondays, Division 1 races on Tuesdays, Division 5 races on Wednesdays, and then Division 4 races on Thursdays, as it stands. It does change every season though, and it's quite professional. We've got a committee, we've got stewards, obviously the commentary team, we've got division heads, we even have principals for all the Formula 1 teams. And still, we wait. Do you know good leagues like yours for PS4? I'm afraid not. I don't know of any. Don't know if any other lads in the chat might know, but me personally, I don't know any.
I think it was PSR.
Really. PSR.
I think it's a league, maybe PSR or F1 or something like that.
That could be one for you to try, ATS Camel, if you're looking to get into league racing.
I don't know whether
Obviously, we didn't.
one or not.
K-Mag says, shout out to our comms, GG's dealing with it, thank you very much. Sometimes when stuff gets thrown at you, you just got to try and improvise with some topics.
Oh.
Try and keep the mood going, you know.
It looks like Brutal Reapers has just joined.
Oh, Element Snow says PSGL.
Oh, that's the one, yeah.
ATS Camel, I don't know if I'm good enough though. Trust me, mate, you won't know until you try. You can't drive without anti-lock brakes yet. Quite a few people can't either, mate. You know, there's no judgment for it.
Well, unless
You can
Twitter.
Yeah. never doubt yourself. Give it a go. If you give it a go, you've tried. Anyways, moving on to the formation. Vettel, once again, please take it away.
Right, so in P14 we have the rest of the area is Alfa Romeo. 13th we have Phil Hardy, and it is brand new Red Bull. 12th is the returning season 1 champion, Magic Marks. 11th is Luki 1210, last week's pole sitter is Alpha Tauri. P10 is Sturridge 15-15-15 in his, Mercedes car. P9 is RSF1 K-Mag in his banana boat. Then P8 we have RSF1 Brundell in his, I'd like to say Colgate car, but I don't know what toothpaste people use. 7th we have Grunty in the other toothpaste car. P6 we have the Biscuit in his Hiace. 5th we have One Shot in his Racing Point. 4th we have Breezy 72-72 in his McLaren. P3 is Brutal Reapers in the other Racing Point, Force India, whatever you want to call them. P2 is White in his Alfa Romeo. And P1 we have Sturridge 97 in the orange Tango squad car.
I do like that touch that you did for Muddy Biscuit. It's like the Fox's thing. It's not biscuits, it's biscuits. So as the cars now line up on the grid, we get to see some action for Russia finally take place once again. This is the second consecutive time in a row where we've had to do a restart at the formation lap because of it. ATS Camel, how is the grid determined? The grid is determined by 3 qualifying sessions. So from P20 to P16 will be eliminated in Q1, then Q2, P15 to P11 will be eliminated, and then in a top 10 shootout we'll fight for pole. It was all determined by the quickest time. All on equal performance as well, so no one's getting the short end of the stick.
Well, no, I think Storage would probably be on pole if it was not equal cars.
And here we go, the cars have now lined up onto the grid.
Oh,
don't say this has happened again.
Off to the love of Gabriel Jesus.
You're joking me. You're actually joking me. This has happened again.
I don't think there will be a lights out or whatever we go.
Brutal needs to leave apparently. His Brutal Reapers is apparently blocking the ability for the Grand Prix to start. We'll have to see. If it's true about what Element says, have an invite ready for him. If Brutal Reapers leaves and the Grand Prix gets going, we'll hold on for a moment, see if it will get itself going. If not, it might be Brutal Reapers that's stopping the Grand Prix from getting going. Is it going?
No, it's just home screen to me.
Well, I just got kicked out. As in my game crashed again.
Oh, minus 200-degree tyres incoming, apparently. The got elements now. Would not surprise me, to be honest. Would not surprise me.
Could you invite me back to the lobby, please?
I can't. I've been booted as well. Be nice to see if the grid actually got off or not. Fine.
Right. Apologies, everyone. We will get this Grand Prix going eventually, I think. Alright, I'm now rejoining the lobby now. As a spectator. So hopefully... Yeah, they're all going. So, as the Grand Prix goes on, it goes Breezy leading the Surge leading the Grand Prix, Ike second, Breezy third, Catastrophe fourth, Riplin One Shot is fifth, K-Mag sixth, Money Biscuit seventh, Hardy eighth, Brundle ninth, F. Farmerland 10th, Lukey 11th, Starridge 12th, Brutal Reapers is in 14th, with Magic Mark in 13th. So, unfortunately, both comms got kicked out for lights out, so we did miss the start for the Grand Prix, but unfortunately, as it stands, Lukey and RSF1 Ites have already collected time penalties. As we move now...
Oh, was it?
We move now to... RSF1 Brundle.
Busket's got a drive-through, I think. Oh no, he's got damage.
He must have been caught in contact in the start of the race. We're really sorry that we missed it, everyone, but unfortunately we can't help this game's bugs. Brutal Reaper did leave, and it did trigger the game to get going.
Sturridge has got a considerable gap already over RSF1.
Championship, Season 1 champion, he was P11 already. He's losing a little bit of time to Brutal Reapers, but he did just hope that he'd just get a decent finish now. You know, he knows he's not going to be amazingly quick around today. He's just aiming to do something. Oh, he's got damage on his left end plate.
Yeah, I was wondering why his car was washing out a bit too far. He's missing the end plate. Quite a vital piece of front wing at this track because it requires a bit of to get through all the 90-degree corners. Oh, wow, this has got damage as well.
Crikey. So much going on already. We like. Unfortunately, we missed a huge amount of.
Someone's just ploughed the ball on over.
I think that might have been Brundle, and that might have damaged his car.
No, I think it was Quincy who knocked it off.
Has he got wing damage?
No. Nothing at all.
Going on board with FFR Milan, who started last in this Grand Prix, is now actually starting to catch up to a fellow medium compound runner, Hardy, in the Red Bull. Round the left-hander we go.
I don't know what RSF1 has got the time penalty for. It's a 5 seconds, so you'll have to serve it as pit stop.
It probably contact with a driver in the opening lap.
Oh, and Breezy goes down the inside. The RSF 2 has left the session.
Oh, that's why Ice is being swallowed up. Oh, Grunt Astrophy goes round the outside on the AI of RSF1 Ice, and he moves up into P3, and he gets the DRS assistance off of Ice's car, which allows him to get quite close and get into the DRS window of Breezy.
Ice is fighting back, well the AI is fighting back, and Ripplin's flooded at the back of the AI.
And I'm guessing Rickland's collected damage.
No damage. Surprised, aren't I?
He's fallen quite far back now. He's already being pressured by K-Mag.
Yeah, K-Mag.
There you go, down the inside. Second to last corner on Eitz's AI. Moves up into 5th position. Unfortunately, though, I feel for Eitz because he's lost out majorly.
Yeah, I mean, the race has been a bit of a disaster for Mini Biscuit, who's in 11, I think. I'm not sure the left-hand side is correct.
They just got to hope for a safety car, but with...
Yeah, apparently Eitz is in P14, which I don't think is true.
No, Eitz is in P6 at the moment. But with only 14 cars, there is no need. Well, I don't think there's not no need. I don't think the chances of a safety car coming out immediately will be happening. I mean, we got virtual in lap 1, but that's about it. Unfortunately, RSF1 Brundle did just collect a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, the first
just there.
track limits penalty of the day.
And we get to see, it's good to see actually who has got the penalties on the screen now, so we don't actually have to sit there and wonder who's not got anything.
It'll be pretty special if someone goes the whole race without getting penalties, which could bring Buddy Biscuit back into the race. But Buddy Biscuit, he's not sure enough pace to expect. What's happened?
Sorry to interrupt. Eitz had just overtaken RSF1 K-Mag at the bridge. On board of FFR Milan.
Well, pretty much just dominating now. 4-second gap to his teammate.
A double overtake on Hardy as Hardy breaks deep going into the second to last corner. FFR Milan gets a hold of that little moment, jumps up into 8th position.
DRS,
Hardy's now being hounded. He's got the DRS assistance though to stay with FFR Milan.
Go for it? No.
He's going to try it.
But this
Locks up the racing point.
Have a little sniff on the inside.
Oh my god, no, we're not going 3 wide in this section, are we? Oh,
I believe in the 2019 race they tried to go 3 wide and then it did not end well in the actual race.
Oh, Brew Reapers passes FFR Milan. Not FFR Milan, it passes Hardy. Even with the wing damage, but now Hardy's coming to try and retaliate.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Brew Reapers has wing damage.
He did very good with wing damage to overtake Hardy and stay in good pace with Milan. What's happened to K-Mag?
He's lagged out of the session, I think.
Oh, not again. Brutal Reapers has got the DRS assistance on FFR Milan. He's going to send it down the inside, going down to the bridge. And he does it, he moves up ahead.
Milan to go around the outside.
Oh, goes deep. And FFR Milan gets to retake that position. He's trying to keep it side by side going into the chicane. He gets the curb, he runs off a little bit. FFR Milan stays 8th place. And Hardy's actually having a tough time keeping up.
Doing it into the pit. So his AI's done it for him.
As the game pits RSF1 K-Mag's car, Brutal Reapers once again will have the DRS assistance. Eitz just passes Ripper one shot for 3rd place.
Yeah, Eitz is on a charge.
Yeah, he didn't even need it.
I think he has to go on a charge at the moment, but the 5-second penalty he will be serving in the pits. He's sitting quite nice in P2.
Can't see any intervals.
Yeah,
I can't tell who's there.
I can see storages, but
so Eitz fighting in 3rd position, trying to catch up now to Catastrophe in 2nd, and again Steerage leading from a far distance. I always hate this sort of moment because this is when it goes a bit more quiet.
all I can say is that Steerage has got a significant lead. It's looking about 6 to 7 seconds. Yeah, look at the track. The McLaren is about a corner and a half ahead.
It's just horrible not knowing.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I was about right. 7 seconds. We get the intervals back now.
Oh, we got a battle happening up ahead. It's between RSF1 Brundle and Breezy. Brundle tries to move it onto the right-hand side. DRS Andy's used a bit of overtake to seal the deal. Breezy can't retaliate, so Brundle moves up into 5th position.
Brundle choosing to go to the outside line. I normally go for the entire curve along that gauge about half a tenth, which in qualifying in this track is very important.
There we go, I can actually see my delta again. Apparently K-Mag's 5 laps behind.
Yeah, that's a
0 laps. Unlucky to K-Mag though, he was looking pretty good until the game decided to be a pain and kick him out.
Sure did. Up into P10.
Magic Marks overtakes the AI of K-Mag and moves up into 12th position. Yeah, he's crossed.
I mean,
And now the gaps have opened.
A dominant lead for Steerage, isn't it? 7.2 seconds.
Feels like looking at Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, except
like Lewis Hamilton.
It's a McLaren
leading. Yeah, oh, K-Mag won't join back.
Esports for it certainly is textual line.
Esports ready, yeah. Just noticed that. The delta between Muddy Biscuit and Hardy is 25 seconds. The battle for the championship is not steering in Muddy Biscuit's favour today.
No, all it takes is a couple of bad races for Muddy Biscuit and Steerage just to right back in easy picking up a 3-second time penalty. I believe that's the first of the day for him.
Lap 8 of 27.
Eitz is pushing really hard to try and build up a 5-second gap over and one shot to try and negate his penalty that he has picked up.
And Lukey now passes K-Mag into turn 1 and 2. So RSF1 K-Mag's AI is now in last position with Lukey in 13th position now. The Season 2 pole sitter starting at the back of the grid, the Season 1 champion at 12th place. Round the last corner we go, on board with Ice, and he is actually gaining on Gruntastrophe. He's using everything he's got to attack Grunt, and looking at Grunt's ERS, he's actually using it as well to defend. He's used quite a lot of it.
Yeah, I believe pit window is open now, so if you want to try and get an undercut on someone, mediums will go to the end, so might not be worth a bad shot, I don't think.
Brutal Reapers and Brundle now pit. Brundle's jumped Brutal Reapers in the pits because obviously Brutal Reaper had wing damage, so he did need to wait a little moment for his team to repair the car.
The races are definitely quieted down a bit now. It looks like Ice is going to be the closest battle in a couple of laps, depending whether the car fits or not. I imagine
that's
if
why I'm
someone's
staying on board with him.
listening to the stream, they will be boxing this lap.
There you go, a little bit of onboard action with RSF1 Ice as he is now pushing his way to get close to Gruntastrophe. He's actually cut off a lot of time in that lap alone, because at the beginning of the straight it was 1.7 seconds behind Gruntastrophe. When he got to the bridge it was 1.1, so he's cut off 0.6 of a second attacking for Grunt, and Gruntastrophe hits, so Ice moves into second place and 9.5 seconds behind the race leader, Steerage. So he's going to get jumped by the Red Bull as well. So he's been jumped by both the medium starters.
9-second gap between Steerage and Ice. I imagine Ice to try and extend this stint as long as possible, to try and hope for a safety car and then go for the overcut. But
he will still have to serve his penalty though.
True, but obviously it's less time lost, so it's not looking likely that a safety car will be happening due to the lack of battles. Brundle getting ahead of Rip in one shot though.
Oh, I did miss that. Brutal Reapers collect a 3-second time penalty, so he joins that club of having a penalty. It does look like Griffin One Shot is staying with Brundle though.
Yeah, they look pretty even on pace. Grunty is obviously boxed, comes out 5 seconds ahead of his teammate. Now, interesting to see whether Ice will be boxing this lap. Yep, Ice is in the pits and Steerage.
So the race leader and second place pit.
It'll be interesting
Sturridge
to
has
see
received a 3-second time penalty.
whether One Shot will be behind or ahead of Ice at the end of this.
Breezy!
Penalty in the pit lane.
Breezy speeds in the pit lane and collects a 5-second time penalty, which is going to impede his chances of finishing up high at the end of the race. Meanwhile, Steerage manages to stay out in first place ahead of the two medium tyre starters of FFR Milan and Hardy.
Is Brundle going to get ahead of
Ice!
Yeah, Brundle's ahead of Ice.
Yeah, Ice had to
and
serve
One
his
Shot.
stop and go.
Well, Brundle was impressive lap times on those mediums because he was actually quite significantly far behind Ice. And we still have Milan and Hardy a bit.
And we've got a battle now happening between Rip and One Shot and Brundle, because Rip and One Shot is right on the gearbox of Brundle's Williams, and Ice is now joining this action as well. Ice having a bit of a poor start, having that 5-second time penalty, is now having to try and cope with these two in front of him, and the more they impede his race, the less chances he has of getting into podium positions.
3-second time penalty. Brundle's got to be defending.
Here we go. Down the straight. Oh, Breezy's crashed.
Oh. Is this a safety car then? Oh, he
It's a
looks like
virtual
he's
safety
lost
car.
Well, I don't know whether Milan or O'Hardy will pit. It's not really their pit window, so yeah, they're staying out.
I mean, they will make 15 seconds under the virtual.
Yeah, but you have to go at the hards, which are really bad at this track, so I would stick clear of them. So if someone had tried the undercut or the overcut, they probably would benefit quite a lot. So it's looking a draw, unfortunately. No one available to capitalise on this VSC.
They're just business as usual. However, the one person that really did miss out from this virtual safety car was actually Rippin' One Shot, who was... Marks has just received a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car.
Yeah, very unlucky magic marks there.
Hardy now collects his first 3-second time penalty of the day. And we got a 3-car battle for P5. It's Brundle defending with Rippin' One Shot and RSF1 Ice close behind. And it looks like Ice is pretty eager to overtake the Racing Point. And the Racing Point is actually doing really good and keeping good pace with the Williams in front of him. Lukey now collects his 3-second time penalty.
It's going to be
and
hard
a
for
DRS.
Rice to get by though. So obviously,
And with the DRS.
The DRS as well.
He's going to make the move of the bridge, I think.
Brooklyn.
No, he's not.
Oh, going very deep there, RSF1 Knight. You need to be patient if you're going to get by them.
Yeah, I think he's going to do it on the start-finish straight.
I don't know. I think we'll get by Brundle, but I don't think Ice will be close enough to capitalise on the lack of DRS for the Williams as well.
Well, Whipping One Shot and Ice both have similar ERS and will have the DRS assistance. Definitely Rippin' One Shot will overtake Brundle.
Yeah, I think it's without doubt.
Brundle holds the outside line, going into turn one.
Nice entry though for Rippin' One Shot, allowing Brundle to go down the inside, having the preferred line. It looks like One Shot's just going to hold it, using a lot of his DRS to maintain the lead.
No, he compromises his exit, and Brundle side by side going into the next corner.
Oh,
they're staying side by side, but Brundle has to come back for a moment, because if he would have stayed on that line, it would have forced One Shot into the wall. A Catastrophe overtakes Hardy.
Ice is looking in a much better situation coming into this straight. Ripping One Shot and Brundle have used a lot of their ERS power.
Brundle might be able to retaliate. Oh, Ice makes the move.
Is he going to get them both? No.
Oh!
Run into the back of the Racing Point though.
They hooked onto each other.
More contact.
This is a close battle. Ice is trying to get a little look on the Racing Point. Marks collects a 3-second time penalty, and Brundle is hugging right onto the edge of the Alfa Romeo.
I do find the track limits for these kind of a little bit stupid, because you don't actually gain any time from using it. It normally just puts, well, normally just loses your time, but Codemasters still do their thing, won't they? Ice is going to be looking into turn one, Ripping One Shot, hugging that inside line.
Late lunge.
But he's got the move done, not compromising in this exit like Ripping One Shot did. And I think he should be pulling a gap, because he has looked quick during the race.
And Brundle looks like he's got the pace to try and keep up with the Racing Point, as these three are staying nice and close to each other. It's the only battle that's actually happening on the track at the moment.
I'm looking at Brundle's gap. Unfortunately, it's the only fight we have on track. It's looking like the Sturgis pulled out a massive gap to Grunty. It's nearly 11 seconds, and we're not even just over halfway into the race.
Rippin' One Shot has used his DRS, but he's got no battery to attack Ice. they both got similar battery, actually. They both burned it trying to keep each other at bay.
Yeah, one shot going deep into that corner again. Does one shot still have the wing damage or not? No.
No, one shot's got no wing damage.
There's
Reapers, that is.
Oh, well, it's a good recovery drive back at the P8 with the wing damage. Mini Biscuit up to P9, decent recovery drive from him as well. Probably not the race that he was banking on for his championship, but I don't think anyone would have seen that at this point.
And now Brundle is going to make the move. He's going to send it down the inside on Ripping One Shot. One Shot tries to defend, but he hasn't got the track space to do it. And now they're going side by side into the left-hander.
Is Rippling going to go for it again down the inside? Thinks better of it. Doing a lot of taking opportunities on the track in that corner.
Ripping is just biding his time. He's using his patience to wait for the time to strike again on the Williams. It looks like now,
we don't have any
in terms of
battle,
Eitz has slowly pulled away.
Well, now is the opportunity for the guys on the medium tyre. If they want to pit for the soft, they will comfortably go to the end. And that will obviously release Grunt Astrophy out of the dirty air of FR, the Ross, and that means Alfa Romeo's dirty air.
He really needs to get out of that dirty air. It's not doing him any favours.
Yeah, Martin's in the, Ross in there he is in the pits. Below Hardy to come in.
Brundle makes contact nearly. Oh my god!
That's a lot of damage. How did that happen?
So Brundle went wide, and he almost hit the wall. And Brutal Reapers was right behind him, tangled with. No, Ripping One Shot. Sorry, Ripping One Shot was right behind him, hit the back of Brundle's car. And it looks like, from my point of view, the Racing Point just pushes the Williams off the track. It's a heavy, heavy incident.
Yeah, Ross and Harry blocking it on the exit. Drive-through penalty. Oh, it's a virtual safety car, I didn't know that.
Steerage has a drive-through penalty.
Oh, this is massive.
Hardy, Ripping One Shot and Steerage have collected drive-through penalties, and Gruntastrophe is within the distance to take the lead of the Russian Grand Prix.
Did you get prompted in the VST?
I got loads of prompts happening at the same time, so like literally just like in a split second.
I had a notification telling me that there was a VST. Maybe Steerage.
Medium runners did actually gain a lot out of that virtual safety car because FFR Milan pitting lost very little time and comes out in 5th position. He will actually capitalise on this because the car in front of him, Ripping One Shot, has a drive-through penalty, and so does Steerage.
Yeah, Grunty
and it doesn't look like
might actually be able to win his first race in RSF1.
Steerage will have to serve the drive-through penalty within the next 2 laps, or he will be disqualified from the Grand Prix for not serving the drive-through penalty. Magic Marks has received another penalty.
Yeah, it's not been the debut we would have wanted.
Someone who has actually benefited a little bit from this is Muddy Biscuit. Muddy Biscuit's now pushed up back up to 8th position.
Yeah, and he's looking all over the rear of that Mercedes. Is Storage picked up damage? Oh, he's on hards.
They've been on hards for quite a while. They're one of the opening race incidents.
RSF1 fight is definitely gaining on Gruntastrophe. I can see that being a battle for the lead between Grunty and Eitz. I'm not sure how much time Steerage will lose, and Steerage is not entered the pit to serve his drive-through. Will he be disqualified?
I don't even know if he knows if he has a drive-through penalty. If he doesn't serve it, he will be disqualified. And that will mean even worse for him, because that means his potential to take the lead in the championship could fade.
Yeah, and it will play into the hands of the Money Biscuit very nicely, who will obviously promoted to P7 and gain 6 points.
And that will hand it to the Oreo.
I don't know, I don't think Sturridge knows that he has a drive-through. Normally you serve it as fast as possible.
Well, Hardy's now gone in to serve his drive-through penalty, and now Muddy Biscuit has got the DRS assistance and the ERS to try and maybe make a move on Sturridge, but Sturridge actually gained a bit of ground in that lap. I think Steerage is giving it his all. Yeah, Steerage is pushing with all of his might. He's trying to minimise the damage this is happening. Yeah, look at that. He's using the overtake in the straights. It's effective.
He should be coming out around about P3. He's definitely going to come out third, and then he'll be trying to recoup the ground that he lost.
Rip and One Shot has retired from the race. That's pushed up Muddy Biscuit to 7th place. The championship leader is remaking ground after there's been a poor start for the day, and there we go.
Yes.
The race leader has finally chosen to go into the pits to serve his drive-through penalty.
This is absolutely
almost speeds in the pit.
Flipped this race in its head, hasn't it?
It has, and now we just got to keep an eye out because Steerage goes into the pits, and we're waiting on Grantastrophe. Grantastrophe goes round the last corner.
This is such a painful pit. He goes so slow.
And he does it. Grantastrophe takes the lead of the Russian Grand Prix. Ice moves into second.
Milan will be, the Rostenary will be too far back to capitalise on it. But Sturridge is going to have to gain this time back if he wants to hope of winning the race.
You were correct on what was happening with Steerage, that he would come out in 3rd position. However, he's got the pace, but unfortunately he's used up so much to push to try and minimise his loss, and that means coming out of the pits, he has nothing to push with.
Yeah, this is perfect damage limitation for Money Biscuit, who at the moment on penalties will get P6, maybe even P5 if real quick, because that's quite a lot of games anymore during the race.
So, Grantastrophe leads the Grand Prix, followed by RSF1 Ites in 2nd, Steerage is 3rd, FFR Milan 4th, Brutal Reapers is 5th, Sturridge is 6th, Muddy Biscuit 7th, Brundle 8th, Hardy 9th, Lukey 10th, Magic Marks 11th, and K-Mag is in 12th. The 2 drivers eliminated from the Grand Prix is Rippin' One Shot in 13th and Breezy in 14th. Brutal Reaper also collects a 3-second time penalty again, and that makes 9 seconds.
Yeah, he'll be nip and tucked whether Money Biscuit will overtake him or not. Currently 10.8 seconds if he can try and get a bit of time on him.
Money is desperate to catch Sturridge.
Yeah.
Tectraloid, it says if he wins this race, he's too quick for F2. That's what he's saying about Steerage. I personally don't think so. I mean,
it's not my
Steerage is not.
So I'm not going to come up.
No, it's not mine either. But Steerage is not. We've had many other race winners. Yeah, Easton says he can't be moved now. It is quite too far in the season to think about doing that. Thank you for 41 viewers, by the way. It's quite nice to see that we're hitting over 40.
Oh, we are.
And Sturridge is handling the pressure being applied by Muddy Biscuit beautifully. You know, he's being pressured, and he's just like, you know, I'm not bothered. You can sit there. It's not going to affect me.
Yeah, Steerage and Knights are not pulling the time they need to catch the car ahead quick enough at all. The lock-up there for Steerage going into the bridge section. But currently is definitely handling the pressure of maybe his first ever win in RSF1 very nicely.
I imagine his heart's racing right now.
Yeah,
I
he
would be
cannot
if I was
afford
leading the
one
Grand Prix.
penalty. Sturridge has left the session. I'll let Muddy Biscuit
He has?
through. Sturridge.
Oh! The AI is putting up a good fight though in his stead.
Yeah.
But in the end, the AI yielded to Muddy Biscuit, and Muddy Biscuit takes 6th place. He's still within the window of gaining 5th position from Brutal Reapers, but I think other than that, Muddy Biscuit will not gain any more ground within the race. Catastrophe collects a 3-second time penalty. Oh no!
He might just have thrown the win away there. He's to bank on RSF1 to get a penalty now, which I assume he will not get now.
Could you check the race director just to see if Ice has any warnings?
I will, yeah. Ice currently has 1 warning.
Oh no, it looks like Ice's chances of having a penalty
Oh, what's
is
happened
low.
to Grunty? It's not below a second now. Ah, the AI and RSF1 K-Mag getting in the way.
It's not good for Gruntastrophe. His hopes are... He's got damage!
Oh, it must have been off of the AI. He must have gone into the back.
Oh no! Gruntastrophe's hopes of winning a Grand Prix has gone down the toilet because of the abandoned AI of RSF1 K-Mag, and that has ended Gruntastrophe's hopes of extending that gap to take the win in the Russian Grand Prix. Eitz moves back up into 1st. Eitz won last week in Singapore,
P3.
which is very good. You know, he's had a really good race. And Alfa Romeo could be looking at a very, very nice point scoring finish here. Brutal Reapers moves back into 4th position. Muddy Biscuit actually could take home a 4th place victory. Well, not victory, you know, like a 4th place finish,
He's
which
in the gap.
is
He's
really
in the gap.
good.
Damage limitation from Muddy Biscuit or Biscuits or Custard Cream, whatever you want to call them.
The Bourbon.
The Bourbon, yeah, Muddy.
And once again, the gaps have opened to the point where we have no battles to watch over. So now we have 5 laps to go of the Grand Prix, so at this point, no more safety cars will be venturing out onto the track.
Oh, Brundle picking up another 3-second time penalty.
Brundle has got considerably more grip compared to the 19 lap old hard tyres. He's on 15 lap old 5 lap old softs.
Oh, Brundle must have pit again then. Oh yeah, because he crashed. Well, he was, but
Yeah, because of what happened with Rip in one shot.
yeah, it's been a bit of a disaster for Williams today, hasn't it? They had the potential win snatched away quite cruelly, really. I can't imagine Grunty will be best pleased. Or Brundle, then, for that matter.
Brundle and Grunty were looking at possibly good finishing positions, maybe even possible podiums, and both of them snatched away from the drivers, especially after Gruntastrophe making contact with K-Mag's car. There's a wing on the track. There's an end plate.
It looked a bit like a toothpaste car. That might explain why Ice was catching Grunty so quickly around the lap.
Have a look through some of the cars, see if they've collected damage. On board with Muddy Biscuit.
Brutal's got nothing. The Rossendary hasn't. Steerage. Oh no, Steerage has. Steerage has got end plate damage. It's a McLaren.
Oh god! Now that's huge. That is huge. Because if FFR Milan can keep up this pace, he could possibly attack Steerage and maybe go for the win of the Grand Prix, not win, for second place. 1-2 could be massive for them.
it's going to take some god tier laps because Rossoneri is 6.5 seconds behind.
Yeah, but he's dropping rapidly. Like, steerage will not catch steerage will not catch ice. No way.
If steerage picks up a penalty, I think the Rossoneri is got a good shot at getting the 1-2 for Alfa Romeo, which I imagine Toto will be very happy about.
And Grantashafy takes 6th place from Muddy Biscuit. It's 1 lap old soft versus 21 lap old hard tyres. So
apparently we should be watching Grantashafy, who has Muddy Biscuit quite close behind. Oh no,
it's so weird.
Overtaken. Muddy missed it. Brundle with another penalty. I think Sturridge probably has P7 now.
The thing is, if there's soft tyres, like one moment there's a gap, and then like we can see it's like 2 seconds, and then we looked at something else, suddenly they just gained like 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds on that car, and then a battle happens.
The Rossoneri 4.3 seconds looks like about a second a lap in the Alfa Romeo.
I don't know if it's gonna be enough for FFR Milan to catch steerage. And with respect to the chat, I can only catch battles that I can see it's going to happen. Sometimes cars just make a move without me even noticing. Please do not dictate which battles to watch. I can watch what I can, please.
Milan is
Thank you.
3.3 seconds. The steerage picked up an extra warning. He's only 1 off receiving a 3 seconds time penalty.
I think that's why he's driving carefully.
But Rossoneri is gaining so much time now. I think Milan's probably got the podium, unless Sturridge has got more. Oh, he left the session.
Sturridge?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, exactly.
And this is Toto, the team leader of Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, Toto will be ecstatic, I imagine, with a 1-2 finish for his team.
And here you have it. FFR Milan moves into 2nd place. Steerage being in AI mode, dropping heavily. And that means it's a 1-2 for the Alfa Romeo team. And I bet they're ecstatic over that. They're currently leading in the constructors overall. No, Mercedes is sorry, but this is going to definitely help them in terms of the overall RSF1 constructors.
Oh, and the intervals are broken, so we're not going to know if anyone's going to get the 1 penalties. Come on, Kovacs, fix your game.
Brundle has 12, Brunt has 5, Bruchel has 9. There is a chance, depending on... has Steerage retaken his car yet?
Yes, he's in control of the McLaren.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if he does... Actually, no, he's actually slowly gaining ground back on Milan. Because look, the delta's gone from, like, at the beginning of the straight, 1.6, it's now 1.4.
Yeah, the Rossoneri is on softer tyres though, so he'll have to
yeah. Well, no, but the softs last about 9 to 10 laps.
These are fresh softs, so actually these will be doing around about 14 to 15 laps. He'll easily get them home.
There we go. Going on board with Sturridge now, because I can see he's getting a bit close now to RSF1 Brundle. He's keeping a good gap with Brundle, actually, Sturridge is. Those hards just seem to be coming into play a lot more, and it's hards versus soft, and he's doing really well.
Brundle has picked up a lot more time penalties than Sturridge, so...
Sturridge is playing a little bit more of a careful game.
With the amount of penalties Brundle's picked up, he might actually fall behind Hardy.
Well, it looks like Sturridge is going to actually make the move on the final. Oh, he hits the inside of Brundle.
Spinala. Oh, Brundle was slowed down on the track.
I think Brundle, the contact between the pair of them, I think Brundle was thinking, no, that might have been my fault or anything like that. I think Brundle might be allowing him to go back into that position. It might be.
Muddy Biscuit is nearly in the 6-second gap to Catastrophe. But it doesn't look like it's going to be a P5 away. Oh, Brundle with another time penalty, but...
Oh, Sturridge and Lukey on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Sturridge is desperate to try and hold 8th position from the AlphaTauri. But we're going to have to go back on board with RSF1 Ice. He won in Singapore. He's already celebrating, and he hasn't even reached the second to last corner yet. RSF1 Ice wins a Grand Prix a second time in a row. It's Alfa Romeo on top, and FFR Milan, he crumbs across the second to last corner, and now over the last corner, it's Alfa Romeo 1-2. FFR Milan wins!
No, that must be wrong. I didn't have any penalties.
Brutal Reaper's the third, Grant the third.
Yeah, that's wrong. You picked up one penalty.
Muddy Biscuit did definitely jump Brutal Reapers though. What's happened?
I don't know. I think it's a game glitch, but RSF definitely won the race. I've checked his race directory, he picked up no penalties, other than his 5 seconds.
Yeah, so as it stands, it is going to stay as it is. Ites P1, FFR Milan gets second, Steerage third. I think the stewards are going to have a little look at that at the end of the stream to calculate the penalties that was sustained. Right, so as it stands with the classification, it is all muddled up, so it's not correct. But as it stands, I'll go over the penalties, so it'll be easier for the stewards to calculate correctly at the end of the Grand Prix. But Catastrophe has 1 penalty. As it stands, Brutal Reapers has 12 seconds. Hardy's got 3. Lukey's got 2. Sturridge has got 9. Brundle has 15, and Magic Marks has got 9. So at the end of the Grand Prix, that will be properly calculated, and I think an official proper correct classification will be made, but it is Ites on tops though. So obviously Steerage does not have a microphone, so Vettel, I'll let you interview Milan and I'll interview Ites, so I'll let you go first.
Well done, Milan. Is this your first podium of the season?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, what a fantastic drive to get yourself into 2nd place.
I think luck was my best friend this race. Jesus. This virtual safety car came out perfectly when I was in the pits. And then I had good pace on the softs. And then I was lucky Steers had a drive-through and he disconnected, otherwise I would be 3rd. But yeah, I'm very happy with 2nd place.
Yeah, you should be. You drove a fantastic race from the back of the grid. I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything better, and for your team who picked up the maximum potential points.
Yeah, my goal was just to get points for the team and then finish 2nd. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we've also given you a new nickname.
Oh.
Rossa.
Okay. 'Cause, 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 '
Right, then I'll hand it to Primus to interview this winner who won last week as well.
Rightio, before I interview Ice, no one is salty about Steerage not joining the party. Over the past times when Steerage has gotten to the podium or won, we've invited him and he has not won. And he has not joined. So there is no reason afflicting with comms the reason why Steerage is not joining the party. If he doesn't join, he doesn't join. So please, no ill behaviour there, please. We're trying to do what we can. We're not gods. Right, anyways, moving on to the race winner. A second consecutive win in a row, Ice. And the best possible finish for the team today is an Alfa Romeo 1-2. Your qualifying was quite good, and Steerage collecting that drive-through penalty, I bet you was really, really happy to see that you was in P1.
Oh, it was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. I started the race, and obviously lap 1 there was a bit of that tangle and it was a bit of a mess in the opening laps, and he gave me a 5-second stop go for blue flags when I was racing in second for some reason, literally on lap 1, and then he disconnected me and I dropped down to 7th. I had to find my way back up and then serve a 5-second penalty as well, and then managed to get ahead. Obviously it's bad for George what he got, the drive-through. I feel bad for him, but you know, there's not much you can do about it. But yeah, no, overall it was a good result again, I guess.
And for a moment there, it looked like he was going to jump Grantastrophe in terms of the penalties, because Grantastrophe got to the back of K-Mag's car, and because K-Mag left and didn't come back, the car was obviously just left on track, and when Grunt caught up to it, he sustained damage and then instantly went in, so that effectively handed you first place with ease, because if he didn't have that damage, he still collected a penalty and you would have still had to fight him. And you only had the one warning, so again, you did very good in terms of not collecting anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, the best possible outcome for Alfa Romeo today, and a very good job to the pair of you, especially you, Milan, with running the opposite strategy, and then massive fortunes with that safety car as well, the virtual. But it all played out perfectly. I can see Prost is celebrating in the chat, and I imagine Toto is thrilled. So yeah, you had a really good day, lads. So congratulations to the pair of you on collecting P1 and 2, and also Steerage. He hasn't joined the party, so congratulations to Steerage on collecting P3. Yeah, that drive-through did come through at a point where he didn't want it, and that effectively ended his chances of winning the Grand Prix. And Milan, I'm going to first off ask you, it's Japan next week. How are you feeling for Japan?
To be honest, but I wasn't feeling too good about Russia as well. But yeah, here I am, so anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's anyone's game. And now Ice, Japan, how are you feeling?
Obviously, me being on the pad, it's not too good sector-wise for us.
What, you're a pad runner?
I'm a pad runner, yeah.
Okay, that's just blown my mind.
Yeah, I'm not wheel.
I legit thought you was a wheel runner.
No. But yeah, sector 1 is...
Oh my god.
Sector 1's going to be a bit difficult for us pad runners, I'm assuming. So, alright, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get a good result again.
Well, congratulations to the pair of you, and yeah, I'll go over the classifications one more time before we end the stream. So in P3 is Steerage in the McLaren, and P2 is FFR Milan in the Alfa Romeo. Actually, a very good run there, because you was dead last at the beginning of the Grand Prix, and now you're in second, so a very good result there. And then taking the win is RSF1 Ice. If you guys want to see more F2 action, you're going to have to wait until next week, because that's no more F2 action for this week. They'll be racing it in Suzuka. If you want to see more Russian Grand Prix action, tune in tomorrow at 8 PM for Division 3, as they will be taking it onto the streets of Sochi. And Vettel, once again, another good race. Sadly, we missed the start of it because the game kicked us out twice, but we managed to persevere and get through it.
Yeah, it's been quite a good race, I think, especially for Russia. So yeah,
Never disappoints.
yeah, never does. RSF1, the exact same.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today for the F2 Russian Grand Prix. We hope you have a nice evening. Please remember, take care and stay safe during these times of COVID-19. We're not safe from it, and it hopefully will end soon. But in the meantime, stay safe and have a good night.